Hi everyone, welcome to my session. I am Ogawa from Yahoo Japan. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. In this session, I will be talking about the data solution service that Yahoo Japan offers. Also, I will be touching upon the underlying technology systems or platforms. First, a little bit about myself. I am Shuji Ogawa. In 2003, I joined Yahoo as new graduate engineer. I was in charge of the development of operation of several services such as the education or matchmaking for marriage. Afterwards, as a database administrator, I developed and operated the MySQL and Oracle at an enterprise level. Following that, as a manager, I've involved into the development of access analysis and user base. Now I'm leading a department that develops and operates a data solutions service. Also, I'm serving as data director who is in charge of enhancing the data governance of the company. This is today's agenda. First, I will be introducing the Yahoo Japan from data perspective. Then, I will be talking about the data solution service. Lastly, I will be talking about analysis platform of data solution service. First, let me introduce the Yahoo Japan. Yahoo Japan has now offering more than 100 services. Media, e-commerce, and payment, they are the three business pillars. Media includes search, news, weather forecast, navigation, map, or other service that provides information. Also, user-generated content such as Chiebukuro, an online Q&A forum, as well as the video streaming services named Yao. When it comes to e-commerce, we have Yahoo Shopping in B2C and Yahoo Auction in C2C, together with travel, real estate, ticket, and other O2O services. Then, for payment, we have credit card and banking services. With such a diversified service area we are operating, we are now able to store the wide range of the user data. For search service, yes, we have the data such as search query or what kind of web page each user clicks. And for EC service, we have the purchase history data. Then, with the consent of a user, we are also storing location data. Recently, we are working toward providing a better user experience. For that purpose, we've launched the Paypay payment service together with Paypay Flea Market or Paypay Mall. Also, we formed a capital and a business alliance with Zozo. As a result of those initiatives, we are now able to generate a huge amount of data from a wide range of services. We are now making full use of those data in order to improve our service quality. And we are using these data across the board of our group. So by strengthening data linkage, we are now aiming for evolving our services all together. With those steps, we are now making full use of the data in order to provide a better user experiences. We've already seen some success stories in terms of data usage among the company, but it's not just using the data within one service, but across various services. For instance, shopping service is now using the search data so that the shopping service can recommend better products to each user. When it comes to the credit service, we are now using the shopping data in order to provide or offer a better credit line limit. Having said that, all these data we are storing or using belong to customer, so privacy is the priority. Yahoo Japan has already published privacy policies, and we are using data only in a way that will not violate their privacies. Next, I will explain the data solution service that Yahoo Japan now offers. As I explained earlier, Yahoo has diversified the portfolio of services. As a result, as you see here, we have now collected such a huge amount of the data. Accordingly, we've evolved our platform, so data analysis platform on researches. Against that backdrop, we started thinking of providing and offering these data to external stakeholders. So that was the 31st October 2019 when we launched Yahoo Data Solution Service. Data Solution Service business has a vision empowering Japan through data. Under the COVID-19 pandemic, Japan has been losing momentum, so we would like to empower this country using the power of data. Conventionally, Yahoo's data has been used mainly for advertising or marketing purposes. But with this data solution service, we can assist our clients in more upstream processes such as product development or optimization of the logistics. And the solution is not only for big enterprises but also SMEs. So that's we wish we can empower the Japan as a whole. There is something that we have not yet achieved, but that we are aiming for or envisioning a mutual use of the data, not just between Yahoo and a business operator or local government, but also between business operators themselves or between local governments themselves. With this approach, we would like to assist our partners grow all together and enhance our ecosystem by increasing the amount and the type of the data there. Next, I would like to show you how to use data solution service. For example, that service allows customers to have a better understanding of the consumer's interests to produce the better the products. Also uses a forecast of the products or services so that they can optimize the logistics. Another example for local governments. With our data, they will be able to visualize the flow of people or the interests of the residents. These data could be leveraged for city building or even disaster prevention planning. Now, I would like to touch upon the services under data solutions business. Since its beginning, we have been offering DS Insight and DS Analysis. DS Insights is a dashboard to visualize people's consumers' interests, and DS Analysis provides a deeper insight on an ad hoc basis. Let's closer look at DS Insight. It has two features. First, people that visualizes people's interests, and place that can visualize the data related to the people's location or places. Here, this is the people. So the people uses search data, then provides the visualization of people's interests or trends or needs. One of the items you can visualize with people is a query map. Please imagine that people would search some URL product or service with a particular other keywords or secondary keyword, for example, troubles or issue or how to use. And with the people, you can create a query map with your service product and these secondary keywords by which you will be find out potential needs to your products. Also, with this service, you can find a kind of a current trend looking at the buzzwords. Also, you can forecast what kind of words the particular users will be looking or searching in future. With these support, the clients will be able to create or create customer journeys much easier. Next place, this is a feature of a DS Insight. This is a service mainly for local governments to visualize the number of population of the flow of people. This service helps the governments to plan the city building or the disaster prevention planning. And recently, we released a feature called a custom area so that now the clients will be able to specify much narrower area than visualize the number of people or the flow of people in a narrower area and with more detailed data. Next, DS analysis. This is a service that can meet clients' needs beyond what DS Insights offers. With this service, we are assigning our own analysis. We will be able to provide analysis recommendations on an ad hoc basis upon clients' requests. The type of analysis could include, for example, the store opening planning, or the customer journey, or innovator analysis, or the competitive analysis. So there are some menus, but of course, beyond that, depending on the client's needs or requests, we provide a tailored recommendation or solutions. In addition, on November 5th this year, we released a new service called DSAPI. It allows our customers to access a broader range of the data beyond than DS Insight anytime by integrating this API into their BI tool of their choice. This service also enables customers to obtain deeper insight at the same level as the DS Insight does. Next, and going forward, I would like to talk about some underlying systems or the platforms used for providing the data solution service that I mentioned earlier. In this part, I will be talking about the kind of environment or the platform used for providing the DS analysis together with some use cases. But before diving into the topic, I would like to share my view regarding the strengths of Yahoo Japan's data. Yahoo data has three strengths. First, objectivity. Second, variety of data we have. Three, promptness. When it comes to objectivity, please imagine conventional research surveys. Normally, there has been the limitation in terms of the amount of sample size. Also, if you carry out a survey, normally the survey result could be biased because of the respondents. But with the Yahoo data, we have the data from the tens of millions of the users, and we can use their pure interest. And then we are calculating the results very, very statistically, so that we can provide very objective insight into customers or people. Next, variety of the data. As I mentioned earlier in this presentation, Yahoo is now providing a wide range of services. Accordingly, we are storing a huge variety of the data. So if you would like to understand a particular group of users, you can combine variety of the dataset so that you will have a better understanding of these user groups. The dataset available includes the interests of people, purchase histories or search history, and so on. The third strength is promptness. Conventionally, when you carry out a survey, of course, depending on the survey topic, you have to design a survey and implement it, then analyze the result so that you will get the outcomes you want to have. But with the Yahoo data, if you have already the amount of set of the data regarding the subjects, then you can immediately and promptly get the results. Also, if you need to carry out additional survey, in that case, Yahoo Data supports the client or customer to do that kind of additional survey immediately. From now on, I would like to show some the use cases. The first case is the project together with Isetan Mitsukoshi, a department store in Japan. Actually, this is a POC we've conducted prior to the official service launch, so we worked together with Mitsukoshi Isetan to develop a new product of Arm in Arm, which is the apparel brand operated by Mitsukoshi. Their main target is the females aged between 25 and 35 years old. So we extracted the data, what kind of information they're trying to find out in terms of the fashion. Then we found out they often search information or data regarding when wearing how to wear the long skirt or what kind of fashion would be suitable with the baby carrier. So based on those data, we carried out focus group interviews, and finally, we produced this long skirt shown on this slide. And we've adjusted the location of a pocket so that it goes well with the baby carrier. Also, in order to let everyone wear this skirt, we've adjusted its colors or size of buttons. And we are very glad to see the 2.6 folds better sales compared to other new products.
Next is Sky Perfect TV. You may know them as Scapa. They had a dilemma, which was the imminent dropout rate of subscribers after the end of a professional baseball season. To resolve this problem, DS analysis was used to analyze the keywords of continuers and cancelers to investigate the matter. At the time, the hypothesis was that cancelers were switching to other video streaming services. Here was the analysis. We analyzed characteristic keywords of cancelers and found out that there were a lot of keywords related to financial problems. So this allowed us to conclude that they were not switching to other services, but they were canceling their plan because of financial reasons. So the countermeasure was not competitive measures, but to enhance retention measures for continuers. My next example is related to Paypay. This is an ongoing project. Paypay is collaborating with local governments so that in the midst of this pandemic, they can support business owners by giving a point rebate for cashless payments. To analyze the effect of this project, as a data solution business, we used data of Paypay and Yahoo Japan to provide the analysis results to local governments. My next example is related to government offices. For the Cabinet Office, they were providing support to business owners, again in the midst of the pandemic, and have been using various data for business operation support, and this content was called vRecess. As a data solution service, we provided statistical data of search queries so that we can promote data use in Japan. Lastly, My example is related to prefectures and cities in Japan. In April 7th of this year, you may know that specified prefectures had declared a state of emergency, and this was expanded countrywide on April 16. This was an unprecedented situation for local governments, and we needed a solution. So, again, the Yahoo Data Solution Service used DS Insight and provided this free of charge to prefectures and ordinance-designated cities. As a result, flow of people and people's needs were determined during the state of emergency. So, as a result, whenever governors or mayors gave a speech, the data was used to raise awareness of risks. We are still in the middle of an unpredictable situation, but we must keep the economy going at the same time. So, we hope our tools will continue to be utilized to determine the latest situation and leveraged for tourism. So, before I get to the next topic, which is the underlying system and platforms, let me talk a bit about system requirements. In carrying out our data solution business, we have a challenge, which is to link our clients' issues with issues that can be resolved with Yahoo's data. Generally, when we work to resolve our clients' problems, we look at their data and see how they can be utilized. So, it is always a challenge to see how we can link these two. To achieve this goal, first, we would hypothesize our clients' problems and prepare proposals in advance. Also, we would repeatedly test the issues that clients explain to us so that we can determine correlations and insight from the data. The same can be said for analysis in general, but I personally feel that repeated testing is necessary. So trial and error is very important. Here are the requirements for trial and error. First, in order to solve our clients' problems using Yahoo's data, the data format of Yahoo services need to be unified. Otherwise, sequential data must be shaped, and in the worst case, we may not even be able to connect the data. So this is important. Secondly, we need to clarify the whereabouts of the data. When we don't know where we can find each service data, we need to look for it every time. This is often called the Dragon Quest phenomenon, where you need to talk to different people, ask where a data is, and where refer to other people, so that it would be a long quest to find the data we're looking for. Third, we need flexible computing resources. When we're analyzing search queries, there could be a process that runs that is much like a partial matching of Japanese over a long span, and we need a vast amount of computing resources on short notice. So we need flexible computing resources when we need it. Fourth is to provide an appropriate interface for people with different skill levels. Analysts have different skill sets. I'll elaborate on this later, but depending on the person's role, the needs for the interface to access data is different. So in order to enable everyone to do trial and error, we need a variety of interfaces. Fifth is to reduce the cost to achieve these goals. Even if we come up with a great solution, if it is too expensive, the business would not be successful. So for trial and error, we need to repeat the tests, and each trial must have a limited cost. As you can see, there are many requirements. By utilizing the data platform that is already available to many of Yahoo's services, we can limit the cost for data engineering to achieve our goal. Yahoo provides data platforms from logging to get data, and the pipeline to shape the storaging, computing, analysis tools for analysis. These are all available on the platform for data analysis. Let me give an overview of each of these processes. Starting with logging. In order to acquire data across services, there's Logger. For an app, you have SDK that would be implemented in each service. Then, for individual data that cannot be shared, we provide a logger for that specific data so that it can be used. Next is the pipeline. This is built based on Apache Kafka. This acquires all of the data, company-wide data acquired through the logger. As long as there are no network outages, data can be processed without any deficits. Next is data lake. This acquires data from pipeline, and it organizes service data on Hadoop while ensuring ACL in the same format. The data format uses Yosegi, which is a schemaless columnar format, so that it is possible to retain a wide variety of service data. Next is Hadoop. Hadoop is provided to many of Yahoo's services, and there are many clusters. Combined, there are more than 6,000 nodes that are operated. Data amounts to more than 240 petabytes, and more than 3 million jobs are processed monthly. Based on HDP 3.0, we have added our own internal bug fixes as we operate the platform. At this scale, it is very costly, so we carefully carry out investigation on demand to optimize the investment cost. We support Hive so that analysts can flexibly carry out their queries. Next, let me explain how and who analyzes this data using various tools. In the data solution business, there are 3 kinds of analysts. First is scientists. They have the engineering skills to analyze data so that for new requests and requests from clients, they can analyze and draw statistics. Because these scientists are engineers, they don't require a special interface. Using the environment I have explained, they can carry out their work. Next, we have analytical designers. They are not familiar with server-side Hive, login, or engineering-related tasks, but they are very familiar with data. As long as they have the data set they need, they can analyze data on a desktop. So, they can ask scientists to analyze data or collect, process data, and do the analysis themselves. Then we have account for sales reps. They are familiar with what can be done with Yahoo data, and they need to come up with a proposal. So they are required to carry out data analysis themselves to a certain extent. While some sales reps are familiar with data, that does not apply to everyone. So to make this scalable, we need a flexible interface so that sales reps can look up the data they need. So with the various skill sets, we are preparing this environment to provide interfaces to access data. To facilitate analysis of data on Hadoop, we have adopted Teradata as the data warehouse to collect daily data. This is utilized in the data solution business as well. Next, we have Otepon. This is a tool that we developed in-house that sends queries from a web interface. This allows you to get data sets. Data acquired through Otepon is visualized using Tableau so that data can be analyzed from various perspectives. The Tableau server is centralized so that for users, the operational cost can be minimized. For a sales tool, we all have another proprietary tool, which is a search query analysis tool called Otter. This was developed in my department. We have a mascot character, and this is being used across the company. And let me explain a little more about our web query interface, Otepon. This supports Hadoop, Teradata, and Presto to send queries. Dataset results can be acquired from web. For the query, there are different templates available. Even if you're not familiar with SQL, you can still use the tool. Because it is a powerful tool at the same time, what we call educational content, such as the overview of data, data governance, privacy policy, people who are familiar with these topics can use the tool so that the tool supports all data use across Yahoo. Then let's go back to the tool Otter. This was the basis of DS Insight so that search queries can be analyzed from different perspectives: time series, segment-based, cycles, and trends. In addition to the data solution service, it is used for many services, including advertising. It's being applied across the company. It was a summary of the foundation of data solution and data use across Yahoo. So our main priority is the privacy of our clients. So no personal information is exchanged. Data is never identifiable. Statistical data is always processed before it is provided to our clients. So we aim to empower Japan through data as we operate our services while leveraging data platforms. Thank you for listening.